Back at the Rebellious Media Conference, I'm talking to Chris Smith from EcoTube. Chris, tell us a little bit about EcoTube. It's an aggregator, isn't it?
Yeah, well, the idea was to do a green YouTube quite a few years ago, about 4 years ago, before lots of other sites came out. And it's kind of a content aggregator in that I've collected some of what I think are the best short films and longer films from around the world. And I've also found some on YouTube which we've embedded, so we can upload our own content on there, and we can take stuff embed off YouTube, or we can steal it off YouTube and put it on our server. So it basically means I have my own domain that I can host my own content without anyone interfering or getting in the way.
So hosting costs money, and so forth, especially if you become popular. There's problems with scalability, aren't there, in hosting? So what are the advantages of so tell us about that first of all, how you get around that. I mean, what if one of your videos goes viral and you need to bump up your server by a factor of X?
Well, I mean, to be honest with you, I mean, the best video views we've had in a day is about 1,000 a day, actually, even when we've kind of done something really clever. So, and actually I use my server for a whole bunch of different websites that I run, none of which are huge traffic. It really just depends. I mean, when we do a big mail shot, or when I've put some content on there for someone else that they need hosting that might be copyrighted and they want it to show to people, we do get a big surge in traffic, but it's never enough to crash the server. And we do have a pretty high-end package, which is relatively inexpensive now. I mean, having your own server off-site is not expensive.
So what about, though, just pulling in stuff from YouTube, Vimeo, wherever video hosters, and just aggregating that and keeping it at source?
Well, I do aggregate stuff directly off YouTube, where I embed the YouTube clips like you would do anywhere else. So I don't have to upload everything onto my hard drive on the server. Just depends whether I've got the time to take a copy off YouTube and upload it again.
And the main advantage is that you get quality stuff. You're not being suggested things at random by YouTube, which you have no interest in.
Absolutely. I mean, that is the problem with YouTube. If you search for ecology, green, anything like that, you're going to get an awful lot of rubbish. And I think with my site, what I've tried to do is bring together some of the best content around the world. Like we have a whole section on eco-humour, which surprises people. And actually, there's hundreds of clips on there, and they are very good.
Okay, we'll be aggregating them ourselves in that case. You were doing a session today on how to master social media. Have you got any handy hints for people at home?
On how to master it, well, there's a lot of tools and applications out there. I think the big idea is really you need to know what it is you're trying to achieve before you start doing it. Because a lot of people start things that end up being kind of digital litter. So in terms of what you're trying to achieve, it's important to know from step one. I would start, if you want your own website, I would start doing a WordPress blog, which you can make look like a proper website. That's the simplest way of doing a website without spending a lot of money. And then you're going to look at what places people you're interested in are going to be. So they're probably going to be, if you're a campaigner, you're going to want them on Facebook. People are going to want to come to your page. You're going to want them to subscribe to your content. So that's the simplest route. And then there's all the thousands of other tools, tips and applications of how you can look at all your content really easily. Like on Twitter, there's a an application called Paperly, and it makes a newspaper out of all your Twitters. So not only do you don't have to click on every link you see in your Twitter feed, it'll give you a kind of snapshot of what's on those pages. So it's stuff like that, where all the content can be put in one easy to digest kind of console, as it were.
Okay, we'll be back soon with another show.